right? So as I say, so you're seeing the difference between branding and marketing. Branding, again, is the kind of the soul and the backbone of the business, understanding why you're doing what you're doing and putting together those values, the communication and different things. And then the marketing is then sharing that story, sharing why you're doing what you're doing, sharing a bit of your campaign, sharing some content, and then dealing with media if you need to. And then we'll get into influencers as well. So as I said, because it is the backbone, we want to go a little further and deeper into marketing, sorry, branding and where that fits in. So Warren, this was supposed to be Buffett, sorry for the typo. Your premium brand had better be delivering something special or it is not going to get business. So what this here tells you is that you have to find ways to stand out. You have to find ways when you're thinking about your brand, because every brand is unique. Even if there are 4 billion, let's say 4,000 of somebody doing something, it's still, everyone is unique. Nobody's doing the same thing. And the thing is, we all just sometimes look at a product itself. But when you're thinking about branding, you have to go deeper. How many bread brands are there? How many water brands are there? But then when they start to market, they market differently. Some you'll see more for families. Some don't even market at all or advertise. Some will show that they are for what type of family, blended family, this type of family. Some may actually give back. You see now too, even with water bottles, the smart waters, you see people using recyclable materials for their bottles. All of these things are part of their values and their brand story and how they position themselves. So that is where you see the delivering something special, because each brand has to show something different. That's what makes you stand out. So you have to think right now. Sometimes I know we tell persons, sometimes you wear blinders and not think about your competitors, but don't even look at it as competitors. Just look at the market that you're currently in or the niche, see what others are doing, and then of course see where you stand out. And as I said, don't just look at your product itself and the way that you may produce something. Look at the back end. Look at even the way maybe your email marketing might be different to this. If you subscribe to this, the way that you may speak in terms of the language or the communication language based on your captions may be different to the way that they do. Like for me, when I start my messages or anything that I put, I always say happy Friday, happy Monday, those types of things. So I know it's something too that is giving that type of communication is what people will expect from me, unless it's like Diane is different, something is happening. But that's what you usually would get. So your communication might be different. The service that you get might be different. The packaging, even after sales service, a lot of people don't think about that, especially for products. That is something that people look forward to. They are impressed when they see it. So make sure to deliver something different, something special. That's the way you stand out. Right? So how are you standing out? So here are a couple of questions that you have to think about that will help you in terms of standing out. What are your benefits? What makes you different from the next person? What are the benefits? And it doesn't have to be very standing out, you know. It doesn't have to be something that's totally different. But what are the benefits from someone purchasing from your brand? What are can they tell their friends? If you want them to go on to someone, to tell another friend, what can they say? What can they say about you and your business that makes it something that they would remember and they will start liking, knowing, and trusting you, that they can tell other people? What is your promise, your brand promise? And what we stand by and what you say when you say a brand promise, it is what you expect persons to get from you every single time. So for me, I try to show up no matter what. If one person was, if it was just me and Moses, we were still going through this. That's a part of my brand promise. I show up no matter what. I try as well to do individualized services as much as possible, because no one brand is the same. There's no cookie cutter across here. It might be cookie cutter in terms of some of the services, but what your strategy would look like would never look like the next person. And I can promise, something I have to remember, promise is a guarantee, that there will be some change to your business after you've dealt with me. Those are things I can promise. It doesn't have to be an exponential change, but there will be change, because I will make you think of things that you didn't think about before that you can then use for your business, that you can create strategy out of, that you can make things different or easier. Those are things to think about and make you stand out. I know as well too, I think because of the knowledge that I've been, because of my background in tourism, my background in product development, it kind of helps me when it comes to now branding for the creative sector. So some of those things help me, and that's a benefit and sometimes even a promise. Who are your customers? You have to always think about when we get into customers. It is not just a lady between the age of 18 to 35. You have to dig a little deeper. Who are these people? Be very specific about that when you think about your customers. It's not just, as I said, it's not just age, the location, And if they're on Instagram or Facebook, it's a lot more when it comes to it. And these things help you with your brand identity. It makes you stand out. People notice you. Of course, continue using certain colors, certain fonts, certain messages that they think about. When you hear Just Do It, that's a brand identity because you know that's Nike. You see the golden arches from a mile away, you know you're coming up to McDonald's. You see certain colors, it will remind you of another brand. You see certain aesthetics, if you have been a part of an industry for a while, that you know that it's this person. It mightn't be, but because it reminds you, it's that at least their brand identity is working because it gives you something that's easily identifiable. Right? Okay, so the picture behind it didn't work out. You've got to keep reinventing. You'll have new competitors and you have new customers all around you. So you have to keep on your toes when it comes to some of these things in terms of standing out. You see, just by if you're on Instagram, you see how often things change just on this one platform. Then there's TikTok, there's Snapchat, there's everything else. And then there's simple email marketing that still works and should not be forgotten. There's your website. There's different techniques in the way that you may be doing things. There are new materials coming on board. People are using recyclable materials for jewelry, for clothing, for accessories. All of these things you have to think about and keep reinventing yourself. And once you do that, and of course, when you become successful and you continue to build on your brand, you will have new competitors, and that's quite fine. But you will also have new customers, right? So we're getting into the customer. So these are some of the things you have to think about when you're looking at your customer. You're creating a relationship with them. It's not one-off. You want them to come back, or at least be the one to tell other people about you, and then they become loyal. So build that relationship. Find ways to message them, to communicate with them so that they know it's coming from you and it feels personalized. I know, Moses, you do that when you send out your email marketing. You see your name is there when you're getting something from Moses. We know sometimes not everybody is going to know that it's part of the mailing, the system that you're using, but just that they know that something's personalized that's coming to me, people feel a little different, right? And again, we discuss benefits. You share those benefits with customers. And it's not just always the cost, but how people feel, how they feel after the experience. Those things are benefits. And then it costs more to get a new customer than to keep the one that you have. So loyalty is very important. And I'll say it again, people buy from who they like, know, and trust. So trust is very important. And in the beginning, you would have seen that where we spoke about accountability and authenticity, it comes back in with this trust factor, right? So when you think about your customer, a target audience should be made up of people who you want to engage with your business rather than people your business wants to engage with. So you may think you know your customer. It's not just anybody or everybody. Your target market could never be everybody. The word says target, so you have to be very specific. The main thing you have to do is be very specific about who you're looking for. So it's an audience that is made up of people who want to engage with your business. So it's not who you think it is. Remember, you're creating something for someone. If you're a bridal designer, of course, who wants to engage with your business will be someone who needs a bridal outfit. It won't be the bride's husband, because sometimes they don't care. It's not going to always be the retailer, but you have to think about who is going to engage with your business. Sometimes that's where the media comes into play. That's where your influencer might come into play. So it's thinking about who wants to engage with your business, not just who you want there. Because sometimes you may think this person is for you, but it may not be. And you see that, especially now, if you look at social media and see who's responding, who's asking questions, who's following, who's checking in. Those are the ones that want to engage with your business. So ensure that you are serving these persons. And it all comes back to the messages that you're sharing to ensure that the right people are there. So be as customer-centric as possible. And that means understanding, you go back again, the benefits. You share those benefits. You communicate the right messages. You offer the benefits. Be effective in your messaging as well, too. If you know that your customer or the people who engage with you have busy lives, you don't send blogs or posts that are 5 paragraphs long. They won't read it. They don't have the time. So you have to think about who's engaging with you and how they actually want to see and actually consume information from you to continue to be your customer. And of course, when you think about your customer, it helps with your marketing. It helps with product development because they give you feedback. So it will show you too. It's not to say that you're going to get customers that will also, and because someone says, oh, I like yellow, means you're going to do an entire yellow collection just for this one customer. But you will get feedback and you will get certain things. And asking questions, that's a part of communication as well. It's a two-way type of communication. You get feedback from them so that you understand and you are actually serving your right audience. Ask questions. What do they want from you? What do they want to see next? Do they want to see more? The same way that they had the business model review, what you need to stop, what you need more and less of. Ask these questions with your customers. So you know as well to who's responding, and they are more of your target. The ones that respond, the ones that engage, the ones that share, the ones that repost, the ones that like, and then the ones that when you have an event somewhere, even if they are unable to attend, they would share or tell friends. Those are the people that you want to have with you and championing you as you move forward with your business. So you think about who your customer is. And as I said, when you think about the ideal client, it is not just male, female, or age. You have to think about where they shop. Whether they accustomed buying online only. If they go to certain markets, you make sure you are at those markets. You find ways to align yourself with their business, and you think about their lifestyle. You think about if they hang out on weekends. Are they churchgoers? Are they in any civic society groups? Because all of these things, when you look now at what these people do to market and promote, and you find ways to kind of align yourself with that. Because if they were the Lions and different things, you think about how this fits into your customer's life, what they do. If they like to hike and it's something that you do sportswear, of course you do things that are breathable that they can use for hiking, or you make bags that they can put their water bottle in and different things like that. So you see what else they like and what they do, and you create a lifestyle around what they need. So it's not just thinking about that one product that you serve them, but you try to find ways that they keep coming back to you with different things that, of course, still fit into what your brand identity is. So even though you're an accessory maker currently, and you may be doing things for the professional woman, what does the professional woman do when she gets home or on the weekends? So it's not just the tote bag. She may need a wristlet. She may need a smaller bag. She may need a duffel bag. Think about those things too, so you carry on the full lifestyle of the target audience. That's where you look at it when you think about it. So it's not just the one product, but you find ways that they can continue to buy from you because you've thought about the entire lifestyle. If what supermarket they may shop at, what other online stores they may be looking at. Are they more on Facebook than Instagram? Do they prefer a handwritten note? All of these things are things to think about, right? So these are some of the questions that you have to look at and think about when you're thinking about your customer. Who are they? How can I reach them? Online, offline? What products do they want from you? Right? How do or would they benefit from what you currently have? Christmas is coming up. So as I said, it's not a time really to, you can start, this is the only time sometimes you may do something different because it's a new season, but think about what you already have or what you're planning on, which should possibly be in the ground already running because we're almost in October. What do they need from you for the Christmas season? They might have purchased twice already. What else they may need from you when it comes to Christmas? Is it just for gifts, or do they need something for themselves? Who are their friends? All of these things is what you have to think about. And then how much are they willing to pay? This is when you think about the customer. You have to think about their expenditure as well. How much are they accustomed paying? And then know as well to where we are currently as it is as an economy. We're seeing things that their price cuts, gas is going up, different things, food prices are raising. So those are necessities that they now have to pay for, and they're paying more for. So something that they are purchasing from you is something that is more of a want than a need, but still making it, of course, affordable for them, but still making sure you make a profit. So where does that stand? Do you have to revisit your pricing structure? Or as I said, do you need to then group products together to ensure that you still make the profits that you have? And then sometimes think about your competitors and where they fit into this whole scenario. Because what happens here is you have to see what they are doing, not to the point of copying, but if this is working for them, how can I make this work for me? But in the way that I would want to, or I know my customer would appreciate, and not be like they're literally copying someone else. They are trends. Similarly to you see that they're music trends, they're reels, they're different things, but make whatever it is you're doing yours. Okay? Sorry, but I don't know what's happening with the imagery behind, but think about your customers over competition. Yes, you need to figure out what they're doing, but you find ways to ensure that your customers is at the top of the list, but you still know what's happening in the industry that you're in. You offer great service, you give good quality, you make sure you get the feedback, you be as efficient and as effective as possible, and you would continue to grow with that. And I think to a lot of people always think about awareness and brand positioning. It really does come down to your customers because they would give you the awareness that you need. Once you've been given the good service, you've been given the great quality, and you've been showing up as often as you need to, the awareness would come, the positioning would come, right? Just a couple of things. I know some people would have asked in terms of influencers and how that actually looks and connecting with them. It's something that we're seeing people doing now a lot. And there are different ways to go about it. So influencer marketing, of course, is finding, and you have to think about an influencer as separate or not the same as a celebrity. It's two different things, right? Because of course the pricing will be different. There's so many different factors as it pertains to a celebrity as compared to an influencer. And then as for us now, as small businesses, we will be looking obviously at the micro influencer. So those who would have like the 5,000 to 10,000 marker, and sometimes because too, they are looking to get their business built up. They may not, it might be a partnership where you can work with products and you actually can create content together. Sometimes there may be a small fee, but it is now, it's the big thing that you're seeing now. And it is a space where you have to understand if it fits for your business. Not everyone may need it, but it is about endorsement. It is about showing that it's a campaign, so it's a part of marketing, but the branding has to be understood first because you have to then do some research. And what that research looks like before you even get to this is understanding who that influencer is and how they fit into what you do. So be organized and put together a strategy. But you see, this research is very important because you are not going to align yourself with someone possibly that they may be breaking the law, or someone of their values just does not align with yours, right? You may be pro something and they are not. So you have to think about that and really do your research. Even though you see the numbers that they have and they've been doing great content, how do they align with what you do? That's the main thing to think about with influencers. I'm not too sure the person would have asked that is here, but I know it's a question that most will be asking for. But it doesn't, as I said, it doesn't always have to be about the celebrities, but it is where you create and you curate and you create and collaborate on a campaign that will then benefit you both, because the influencer also too will be getting some new followings out of it, and they will be getting, of course, their brand positioning is increasing, and then you as a business owner will be getting the, I don't know who this is, that you as a business owner will be now getting the benefits of using them and their influence, right? So you put together a strategy, and when we talk about strategy, this means what do you want them to do? How do you want them to assist you in this plan and campaign? It's better to go to them with a strategy, and then you might come together and then decide on a plan. But you have something in mind. If it's a 3-month thing that you're looking at, if it's a 2-week, if you're giving them every week something new, or you are actually providing the content or a script to them, how does that work? You think about those things. You decide on your approach. I would say, of course, do not DMs at work, yes, but if you're trying to be professional, most times when you go on person's pages, you can find an email address for them. That's the best way to contact them, and I think it's more professional that you communicate that way. The only time possibly you might look to do a DM for an influencer is if they may not have 2-3 days have passed and they may not have responded to your email. You can maybe just go into the DMs quickly and say, hi, I would have sent you an email concerning so. Please check it. If you can, let me know if you're interested, if it's something you think you might be want to be a part of. So give them a little preamble as to what the email has in it, right? And then you think about other ways to approach them. So after you've done that, and then you confirm now, you plan out, okay, I'm giving them product. How much product are you giving them? When are you giving them that product? And then you kind of give timelines, but it is still up to them to decide on when they're actually going to post. And as I said, you could supply a script, but they can still switch things up. So you then, while you're having this going on, you still should have your own campaign taking place. So what happens is this extra promotion will then filter into what you are currently doing, because you don't want to then have your influencer posting about you and your page is dead. Your page is quiet. Nothing is happening. You have to have a schedule of things taking place so that when people are directed to your page, directed to your website, directed to you as in a store, things are happening. The new products are there, or the place is well stocked, things like that. So it's really, you have to think about who fits into your space when it comes to your values and your beliefs, Align as much as possible. Don't just look at numbers and people with pretty pictures and videos, but there must be some sort of alignment. And then you start working on that strategy. As I said, when do we start? What are we doing? How long is it? Who's doing the script? If you're just you're gifting them and you're hoping for the best, because the thing is too, they still have the choice not to post, or they can post it much later on than you expected. What you can also do too is update them, even though they haven't posted and you're doing something new, let them know, so that might give them a little extra push that they may need. You go forward with those things. So you find ways to, of course, integrate them, right? There were two other things I wanted to mention before we wrap up. And one of them would have been, I know there was questions about systems and workflows. I would say, and I think Carson would have asked about systems, and I'm not too sure if Nikisha is on, which is the workflows. But when you think about systems, you currently, it starts with a lot of writing and research. 1 second, somebody is asking. Also ask analytics. Yes. So, but the thing is, not all of them will give you, but you can see based on your strategy, you can ask for this. You can see for yourself, or you can actually find ranks based on when you do searches. Certain people rank certain ways, and you can get analytics on people once they're considered an influencer via YouTube or even for Instagram. I'm not too sure if Facebook has it. They rank differently, and you can get some analytics on some influencers. You can find this online. So you can also, that's part of your research that you ensure that you do. So thank you for that, Moses. But when it comes to you thinking about business systems, you think about what you're currently doing. First, you have to start with what you're doing, because it's not to say that you're not doing anything right now. What are you currently doing for your business on a daily basis? Write those activities down. You see what is making sense in two ways. Sense as in CENTS and SENSE. What is making you money? So you have to think about working in the business and on the business. So what is making you money based on your daily activities? And what is just helping you to build your business? And what are some mundane things that you can possibly not scratch off, but possibly outsource, barter, or have those lower down on your list? That's the first thing that you think about when you think about your priorities and you think about your systems. You then find if it's anything based on what you do. I don't know how your day works, if you are a full-time person in business or not. If you are a full-time person in your business, different things on different days. But then if you do production, you have at least 1 to 2 hours, or it could be more. I don't know how you work. Production is a daily activity. But then you have days that you do your admin. You have days that you do your content and your writing and your email marketing. There's days for outreach. There's days if you need to go not online at all, and you need to go to the bank, you need to restock. You find different days to do different things. And it's not just one activity, but based on your capabilities, you see how much you can fit in. And you try as best as possible to stick to those things, right? And what usually happens is that you look at finding as I said, the balance between what's making you money and what's helping your business grow. And you try to do at least 2 of those activities per day. That's as much as what you can do. So that's a simple session and simple strategy in terms of that. If you need more clarity on that, we can, of course, have a chat on it after. But it's really something that you have to sit and think about. And then for those who work, because I know Adele is here and I know Ruben, and I'm not sure who else works currently. What I would have spoken to with some clients before who work and have only evenings or a couple hours. You then just break those down into at least 2 hours per day. As I said, and if you have your weekends, you have a little more time based on what you're doing. I don't know anyone's lifestyle, but at least you use the 2 hours or 1 hour per day, either something that was helping you make money and something that's helping your business grow. And then ensuring that you have production put in, or if that's something that you're outsourcing, what you then put into your structure will be to check in on your production and how often you may need to produce more, how often you check on inventory, how often you produce. But it's a lot of writing down, it's a lot of taking time of looking at dates and how things work. You would never perfect it initially, but you test things out and you move things around. And then you ensure too that you know that there are days that something may always pop up. That's fine. If there's something that you can then do the next day, you can just get it done. If it's something you have to get done now, you make that a priority and you do it. But you ensure you do at least 2 of those activities per day, making money, building your business. And then check. And when you talk about building on your business, your branding, your marketing, customer service, those things, upgrades to your website, perfecting a new product, those things are what helping you build the business. What's making you money is if you want to boost something or continue to produce, because that's once you sell, you know that people are going to buy, right? So those are some of the things that you think about, and it helps as well to with your workflow. Finance is a different situation. I would bring in someone for that, hopefully, if not before the end of the year, early in the new year. I would have a finance session because that is not my forte, and I would not want to come here and tell you what to do when it comes to finance. I have my own systems. It may not work for you, but I rather get the professionals to come in on that. So that's basically what it is when we think about business and moving forward. We have a couple minutes still. So what I will do is maybe take 1 or 2 questions of anything that you would have seen here. If there's any burning question that you think you want assistance with before we end off, I will take about 2 or 3 questions, and then we would wrap up. Because I know I was off for at least 2 minutes, and then I did say 8:15, and it's now about 5 past. So we still have about 10 minutes. So about 5 minutes of questions, and then we wrap up. So if anyone has any question about anything that they would have seen here, or anything that's particular or specific to their business, now is the time to ask. Hi, Tanisha, I know you just came in. If it's anything, because you did register and still come in, I would send you the recordings. Free of charge, because if it did not take, yeah. So any questions? Candice, I think I saw you on mute. If you don't want to talk, you can also use the chat box. Candice, are you there? I think I saw you on mute, but I'm not too sure if you're there.
Yeah, but I don't think maybe it was an error. I don't think I unmuted.
Oh, because I saw you on mute, so no problem.
Okay, yes.
Any questions? No problem, Tanisha. Any questions from anyone in terms of what they would have seen here? Any questions that they may have? Any projects that they want to get some feedback on? You can ask those now. Candice, is Siva is your business? I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes, Siva.
Siva, okay, right. So I know who you are.
Yes.
Tanisha, I don't think I'm familiar with your business. And Glenn, I'm not too sure who that is either. No problem,
Hi,
Aziza.
good night. I am Tanisha. If you allow me to speak, I would explain
Sure.
quickly. All right, so I am a foot health practitioner. So I am in the business of taking care of feet, but from the perspective of health, not from the perspective of a pedicure that is for relaxation. My services are waterless in nature, and I deal with foot disorders, funguses, warts, blisters, corns, extra calluses, diabetic foot care, elderly foot care, geriatric foot care. That's basically it. All right.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so at least the beginning when we were speaking more about branding, for sure, and then you are a specific genre, you're a specific niche as well. So in terms of when you're promoting, of course, you show that it's, yes, they will get the relaxation and different things, but the benefits that people get from coming to you are more on the health side, and then the relaxation comes after from being, of course, treated with what you currently do. So thank you for sharing as well. Anyone else?
Okay.
Tanisha, someone was just asking about your business. Sorry, 1 second, Moses. Tanisha, if you can share your link or business page in the chat. Someone was just asking. Go ahead, Moses.
Bear with me with my background. It's a bit noisy. All right.
No problem.
As it relates to branding, you spoke about influencers, but I've seen some of my designer colleagues use public figures, not public figures, but persons who are hosts, TV, radio, speak. So that's a good avenue to use to brand. You provide an outfit for them, and they give a mention, and then you track the sales from that.
That is also a part of influencer marketing, but the thing with that too, again, the agreement needs to take place, and there must be some sort of collaboration, because we see sometimes news and hosts, they may put it on, and sometimes the mention isn't there. So we have to ensure too that we have some type of agreement, if it's something signed or whatever it may be, that people are able to know that this is the person who is wearing the piece knows that this is part of what the arrangement is. Either they mention it or they target and different things like that. Especially so it's two ways that could work. They mention on TV or at the event, and then the tagging. So you get two audiences: people who attended the event, who are seeing the show, and then their regular following. So yeah. So when we think about the influencer, it's not just always online, as it could be as well too in person. And they can be sometimes considered celebrities, but it is a mix of two. It's not always a celebrity, but it is that person who is just understood content and content creation and becomes an influencer based on what they have been sharing as well. So yes, thank you for that, Moses. I think Tanisha would have shared her information. Yes, it's here in chat for anyone who needs. Serena, I would have seen you unmute for a bit. Do you have a question? And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
I think for me the hardest part was trying to identify who my customer is.
What type of business do you have?
Carson,
Sorry? Carson, oh yes.
Carson,
But for the benefit of others, so can you just let people know what it is you do?
Basically, I am the person who deals mostly with the marketing, the promoting Facebook, Instagram. I am the one who work on the designs for the shoes, the bags, and things like that.
Okay. So when you think about your customer, ideal sometimes is not the best word, but that's what we see. Ideal customer or target market. When you would have started the business, there would have been a purpose behind it. It was to create a product for a type of person. So you start there first, and what usually happens is when you start working on your strategy or understanding your branding further, when your messages go out there, as I said, remember, it's people who you want to see the messages, people who want to see what you're doing, they come to you. But the thing is, you as well too sometimes can craft what it is you want to get from a customer. So as I said, you understand who the person is, what they do, where they work, how often they go out, why would they need your product, what type of product would they want from you, would they appreciate too in terms of the benefits or the values that you offer, you using leather as compared to I don't want to say not the word cheap, but a fake material kind of thing. You using burlap as compared to brown paper, you know? So it's understanding where they fit into that, and you make sure that you market and you target them. And the thing is too, some things that you have to test, but you see too when you start working on a product and you start sharing your process and you start putting things out there and people see what it is you do, who appreciates what you do, they become your audience, and then they of course will tell others. But you have to initially find out where those people are. So you would have decided, as I said, if you're doing the working professional who may need something for an everyday that would last long, but they may still come back to you because yes, they can get a work shoe, but if they need the sandals, they can get it as well. If they need a wallet, they can get it as well, you know? So you find ways to figure out where this person is, not just age, not just male or female, not just their schooling. You figure out where they work, where they shop, what do they like to eat, what do they do, where are they in the life cycle as it comes to family. Is it a single woman, is it not? And because that as well too, you think about how much money they can spend, how much they can't spend. So you know too, if you are pricing your things at 500, if it's a mother of 4, she may not be able to purchase as often as the single professional or the dating professional with 1 child. So it's thinking about who that is as well too. So you think about your products and who you see as using a product. You create something that's called a customer avatar. Who becomes the Katori person? Who do they look like? And sometimes what you can do is once you figure out those things, you start following some of these people, or you may not need to follow them, but you can go on their pages and see what they like to do and who they follow, so that when you're creating your messages, it matches up with things that they already enjoy, things that they like to do and stuff like that.
Thanks.
No problem at all. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a, can your target, well, can your niche audience or can the person be yourself? Like things that you enjoy and do, and like jewelry that you will engage in and that,
it makes
or
things a little
no?
harder. The thing is, you can be a customer, but you should not be your only customer. I can give you an example. So I think someone just came on. Hi, Gloria. I know you came on late, but I would
Hi. Oh
send
my
you the
gosh,
stuff
it's
because we are
okay
actually
today.
just wrapping up, right? But I would send you the stuff when we're done.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the weather's been really bad here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
had
So
a
let's
few
answer some
challenges.
questions and then I'll send you the stuff in a bit, okay?
Um,
Oh, sorry. 1 second, girl. I'll come back to you. Let's finish off with Candice. So I have a client currently. She has a product store, product and service. She likes very plain type products based on what she does. She is a bra fitting store. She's a very plain Jane. The thing is, though, she wanted to just bring in plain bras because that's what she likes. That won't work for all, because you have to remember too, when you're doing a business, there are two things a part of it. You are there for a purpose or a passion, but you also want to make money. So the thing is, sometimes with making money and doing things that you alone may like to do, it may not always make all the money that you want. And sometimes just doing things that you enjoy, you're kind of straddling the line where it becomes a hobby and not a business. So the thing is, yes, you will do things that of course you enjoy or you like or may attract you, but then sometimes your customer may want something else. They may like some of it, but they might want it edited in a way that it then suits them. Because anything that you're doing on right now is you're doing it because you like it. That's why you started the business. But you should not be your only customer. Because you may not like the niche or the group of people that like what you like may be much smaller than who your target market really is. So if you just want to have that niche, then make sure you're pricing properly so that you can be sustainable. Hope that answers.
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, so if we have no other questions and we're wrapping up now, the next time when it comes to in terms of where you stand with your business and what we do here at the Fashion Archers, we're coming into the last quarter of the month. These are some of the services that we can offer you. And because to all of you would have been on this call, any of these services that you want will be discounted. And we are offering as well to anyone that's currently available and is on the call. If you do want a discovery call, which covers some of these things or building out on some strategy or building out on an idea that you have, everyone on the call is also offered a free 20-minute session with me at any point in time during October besides next week. You are able to book with me for that. So you just message me and we'll work on that. But some of these services that we can offer you before you wrap up the year would be a brand audit, where we go through what you're currently doing with your business on and offline. We then could possibly look at a brand strategy to help you move forward into the new year. We can also possibly look at some marketing plans that you may need based on what we work on. And then if there's a need for outreach, it's something that we can also offer. And what the outreach usually entails will be possibly PR if you need it, influencer marketing if you need it. And we also do press releases, PR and media as well. And even if you're looking for stockists, it's something that we also offer. That's one of our services as well. So again, anyone that's on the call currently that would have registered with us, for the rest of the year, if you are interested in any of these services, you would get a discount, and then you're all offered as for the end of March. Where did March come from? So stockists, no problem, Moses. You reach out to me and we can have a chat about that. We can also look at that 20-minute discovery call. So Moses, if it's anything you could just book via my website, or if not, I'll send you the link and we can have that discovery call to speak about stockists, and then we can go from there. So that's kind of where we're at and what we want to assist you with if it's anything for the rest of this year. I do hope that you were able to get something out of this session, that there was something that kind of sparked, as I said, something in terms of moving forward for the rest of the year, understanding your branding, understanding the difference between branding and marketing, seeing where your customers are and understanding your ideal customer. And that social media is just one part of it, but it's so much more when it comes to building your business. And I do hope that you are able to get the awareness that you want, the customers that you need, and that you're very successful for the rest of the year. And of course, continue to be sustainable businesses moving forward. Thank you all. You're welcome. Thank you. Right? So of course, as I said, you can check the website in terms of booking, or you can check via our Instagram page as well. You're welcome. Have a good night. And for Tanisha for sure, as well as Gloria, I would be sending, it will come in 2 sections because there was a cut in between, but I will send you the recordings because I know you came late, right? And the 2 documents that I would send to all, for sure, adult, the 2 documents that I'll send you will be the SMART goals. I'll send that to you now, as well as that business model review for you to, of course, check in on that. Thank you all for joining and have a great evening, rest of month, and a great quarter to all. No problem, Glenn. Yes, you did come in late. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. You're welcome, Gloria. I'll send you the
It's
stuff
crazy.
now.
Thank you so much. You know, the truth is, just hearing your